From our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Peter Murphy begins now.
Good evening. The government is accusing Labor of betraying Tasmanians as the party throws its support behind plans to move the University of Tasmania into Hobart's CBD. It would mean unlocking space for thousands of new homes, but goes against an elector poll which shot down the idea.
A lecture from the Labor leader on the future of our university, raising eyebrows as he vows to shoot down legislation which could stop UTAS from selling off its Sandy Bay campus.
We want Tasmanians to have safe, secure, well-paid jobs as the foundation of a strong economic future for our state, which is why we'll be standing strongly against the Liberals' bill.
It means supporting the university's controversial move into Hobart's CBD, which relies on profits made from selling land gifted by taxpayers decades ago. The state government labelling Labor's stance a betrayal.
It enables any proposal or project that involves selling or leasing for long-term land from the Sandy Bay campus to be scrutinised by our Parliament.
But Dean Winter argues blocking the move would prevent a housing development on free land in Sandy Bay and make it harder for students to access education.
Create and build brand new educational facilities that will make it much better, much easier for Tasmanians to stay here and learn.
It also means a $500 million STEM facility wouldn't be funded.
The money for that sits with the federal Labor government, and that is where Dean Winter could be putting his energies into making sure that is delivered for Tasmania.
Save UTAS concerned a city move could be detrimental.
The future of the university is at stake here. We are seeing a decline in enrolments, we are seeing a decline in morale.
UTAS maintains it has serious concerns about the legal, financial and educational implications of the legislation, adding investing in additional STEM facilities is critical.
They are a public university. They should be accountable to the public that they serve.
The bill's expected to be voted on when Parliament returns from winter break. Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
Child safety workers and youth justice workers in the northwest will be given payments of up to $30,000 to stay in the job. It's part of a new incentive package hoping to bolster the workforce. Last month it was revealed around 60% of roles in the region were unfilled. Relocation support and new scholarship opportunities have also been announced, as well as a market allowance for northwest employees. A recruitment drive is set to begin at the end of the month. Tasmanian Labor leader Dean Winter is moving to block donations to the party from the CFMEU amid allegations of criminal activity within the union's Victorian Tasmanian branch. The Liberals wanting them to go a step further, calling for past donations to be returned.
And he needs to do something about those funds that are there. Go and talk to Tasmania Labor today and get those funds out, those corrupt, dirty funds out of Tasmania.
What I've said to the State Secretary is I don't want us to be receiving any donations from the CFMEU Construction Division under my leadership until this issue is resolved.
A 9-year-old boy is lucky to be alive, suffering hypothermia after spending 36 hours stranded with his parents in the walls of Jerusalem National Park. Having planned a day walk, the family became overpowered by blizzard-like conditions.
Where we found them, they were very cold, and we were able to provide them with shelter, medical assistance, and able to get them out of the elements for the next couple of days.
Early this morning, the helicopter was able to fly in and retrieve the family and delivered them to an ambulance at Mole Creek at about 9:30 this morning.
Rescue was camping with them for 2 nights until conditions improved enough to fly the rescue helicopter in. Recent rain has done little to improve conditions for Tasmanian farmers who've had growing concerns about the impact of future droughts. A new $5 million government support package is aiming to improve mental health support for farmers, as well as provide business advice and animal welfare services.
At the moment, producers have a lot of concerns around fodder availability, but we're also hearing a lot of stories about, the need for water storages to fill up before that critical summer period.
Because of that, an additional $1.5 million will go towards improved water security measures across Bass Strait Islands. AFL Tasmania is already scouting for Devils talent, turning its attention to some of our youngest potential stars. Players as young as 4 testing their skills at school holiday clinics around the state for an early taste of what it takes.
The next crop of AFL stars taking to the field, giving us a glimpse of what our future Devils sides could look like.
Kids are very excited about football at the moment. They're very excited about the Tassie Devils football team.
These players among 300 4 to 12-year-olds strapping on their footy boots, jumping at the chance to play over the school holidays, honing their skills to see if they have what it takes.
Keep training and play harder. Kicking, ball handling.
With Tassie's own AFL dream edging closer to reality, the clinics are part of the bold goal of having 28,000 participants by 2028.
The more participants we have connected to the game at a younger age, at the primary school age, the more likely there'll be an adult participant at a community football club and maybe the odd draftee.
That search for future draftees starting early, turning to the most pint-sized players, giving them their first taste of footy.
30% of these kids aren't registered at a club, haven't done Auskick before, never touched or been involved in AFL experiences.
The next generation already loving life on the field.
Hurdles, footy kicking, yeah, and handballs. Super fun. I just have to keep practicing how to jump on those things.
Inspiring the love of the game and some epic celebrations from an early age. Yeah! Victoria Reisto, 7 Tasmania News.
A family of swift parrots is settling into its new home on the northwest coast. A local man's passion project, the purpose-built aviary, is ensuring the safety of the endangered birds following the construction of a gas pipeline through their habitat.
Kevin Hyland has spent the last 4 years building this bird habitat on his property on the northwest coast. Mr Hyland initially wanted to protect the orange-bellied parrots, but decided safeguarding the critically endangered swift parrot was also worthwhile.
Yeah, well, the swifts, they're mainly in the northeast and down south. That's where they breed. But all my lifetime, I've always found them on the northwest coast.
The swift parrot, like the orange-bellied species, breed in Tasmania during the summer months before migrating north over winter to mainland Australia. The Flowerdale project involves Zinfra Energy, who came on board to protect the swifts, who have habitats along the Tasmanian gas pipeline.
Things like the swift parrot was, really prominent in how do we avoid or minimise impact on threatened plant communities and important fauna. And the swift parrot was certainly one of those.
There's been a growing chorus of voices in Tasmania to protect the swift parrot, even attracting the attention of Hollywood star Leonardo DiCaprio. Mr Hyland, who also has endangered lobsters on his farm, is hoping the lobster ponds and bird aviary will become a major tourist attraction in the northwest.
At the end of the day, they're all endangered species, and actually the 2 birds are critically endangered.
Melinda Ogden, 7 Tasmania News.
The Jack Jumpers are suffering a huge hit, about to lose one of their championship stars as Jack McVeigh picks up an NBA deal. The unwelcome news greeting Scott Roth as he touches back down in Tasmania following his off-season holiday in Florida.
Houston, we have a problem. Jack McVeigh is leaving the Ant Army for a march to the big league as our clutch king inks a 2-way deal with the Houston Rockets.
Jack's a dream chaser and he has an opportunity to do that. We'll support him.
Tasmania should be really proud. I mean, we are putting Tasmania on the international stage.
The interest isn't surprising as the forward's career goes from strength to strength, making a pre-Olympic statement, posting 9 points and a rebound for the Aussie Boomers in their clash against USA overnight.
It ends up with McVeigh. He's got 2.
His departure will leave a big hole to fill in Scott Roth's roster.
We'll just be flexible. We'll do what we do. We'll grind away and we'll play as hard as we can.
Luckily, Roth's refreshed and rejuvenated as he returns to Tasmania, ready for pre-season. Attention turning to the Blitz tournament on the Gold Coast.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm quite motivated coming back here and excited about the 4th year of this program.
Behind the wheel and ready to drive home more glory that's made the Tasmanian team hard to beat. The Jackies will face the Brisbane Bullets on September 7 before meeting the Adelaide 36ers 2 days later.
We don't plan any program around one or two players. We plan it around a whole squad, and we're very confident that if that's what happened and Jack leaves us, that we've got the right program in place.
To ensure the success the teams enjoyed will continue. Rebecca Gaidaneris at 7, Tasmania News.
A Tasmanian women's rep side is betting on the return of a big name for this weekend's clash against a combined Canberra and Sydney team. Last year's captain Jacinta Limbrick will face a final fitness test tomorrow.
Hopefully she'll return with a knee injury. She'll be a big in for us when the team's announced if she gets through that test.
The final squad will be named on Thursday ahead of a big Saturday of footy at UTAS Stadium. To TSL and taking a look at the Cripps Player of the Year votes after round 15, where Mitch Nicholas takes 3 from the Bombers' Northern Derby win. Riley Ashton, the top vote winner from Kimera's victory over the D's. And 3 votes for Lauderdale's Andrew Phillips after beating Clarence. Hurricane skipper Elise Villani isn't shying away from expectations ahead of the WBBL season. A great asset for the Canes, notching up the 4th most runs of all time in the league. The veteran bringing with her invaluable experience, proving age is just a number on the field.
Show the young kids that they've got to watch out. If I'm still doing it at my age, then they've got no excuse. So
she's on a mission to lead the Purple Army to claim their first piece of silverware. Well, it could be a very exciting season coming up, Merv.
Yes, Vic, thanks for that. And loving the lilac as well. And our Colour Blast continues after the break with Kaya Wicks and the weather.
Good evening. Today, Hobart 13, Launceston 15, Devonport 17 and 18 recorded in Burnie. 17 the top 4, Smithton, King Island and Low Head 16, Flinders Island and Strawn 15, 14 for St Helens, Friendly Beaches and Bushy Park. Maria Island 13, Grove 12 and 7 for Laiweni. Overcast and cloudy conditions were seen today about western and southern parts of the state, with plenty of overnight rainfall in the southeast, 79 millimetres in the gauge at Coonunny, Mount Wellington. Expansive areas of cloud through Victoria and New South Wales as an associated trough is passing. Tomorrow the low will shift to the northeast, further offshore into the Tasman Sea as a secondary low develops to the southeast of Tasmania. South to southeasterly winds 20 to 30 knots, shifting south to southwesterly during the afternoon. East to southeasterly spells building up to 3 metres. A strong wind warning has been issued for Storm Bay and the Channel, and also for coastal waters between east of Flinders Island to Stanley. A current flood warning remains for the St Paul's River. Easing showers in the south tomorrow, Hobart 10, 9 for Geeveston and a very cool 8 for Bothwell. 11 and partly cloudy in Launceston, similar conditions in Devonport 13, just double digits for Cressy, 10's the top there. Burnie partly cloudy 12, a possible shower for Strawn 11, 13 and winds easing in Curry. A couple of showers on the way for St Helens 12, although easing in Swansea 11 and much the same in Orford with 10. The 3-day forecast now. Thursday, showers about western, central and southern areas. Friday, late showers extending statewide, and Saturday, showers continue statewide. Snowfall will fall above 900 metres. Increasing showers for Perth tomorrow, 22, 17 and windy in Brisbane, a fine and sunny 30 degrees for Darwin. 11 right now in Hobart, also 11 in Launceston and 8 in Devonport and Murph. That's all from me.
And that's all from her. I'll be back later with updates. Thanks for joining us this evening. Good night.